Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wang. I work in UNEP. I'm a colleague of Mushtaq. Today, I will give you a very brief presentation on the work that UNEP is working on circularity related to the plastic value chain. I'm working in the economy division of the UNEP office in Paris, and our work focuses mainly on sustainable consumption and production, circular economy, and life cycle thinking. So quite a good overlap with the work that Mushtaq has introduced. Um, Before we go into the specifics of the plastic issue, I would like to provide an overall, let's say, approach that how we approach, how we are targeting the issue of different type of pollution and also sectoral work. Essentially, when we are approaching the plastic pollution and circular economy, the vision in our head is that we want to rethink the system to see how do we still keep plastic at its highest value, because essentially plastic is a very useful and also important commodity. At the same time, we'll need to see where it does not pollute our ocean environment so that we keep the function while we reduce the impact. There are different, let's say, key aspects how we approach the issue. The first of all is that we're looking to the entire value chain of plastic, so that we do not only focus on waste management, but also looking to solutions at upstream from different stakeholders. At the same time that we want to have strategic intervention points from different dimensions of the intervention to tackle the problem. One of the key elements is also to see, can we actually consider more chemical of concern to keep them out of the loop, so that when we talk about circularity, we reduce the chemical concern in the loop itself, so that when we recycle material and reuse material, there's less impact from the chemical contents. At the same time, we want to take a full systemic and also life cycle approach, and also working with actors across the value chain. There are a couple of key elements and also dimensions where we are designing our intervention. First of all, UNEP is a typical organization working a lot on knowledge and science-based knowledge, so that we provide evidence, assessment, and analysis to support decision-making. At the same time, we also implement activities on the ground, so that we introduce, let's say, new policies, new technical guidance, and also interventions at different levels. At the same time, infrastructure is also critical for dealing with the pollution for many different waste streams and also problems. Alongside with that, we also need the support from consumers and the business users, so that we work on awareness campaigns and also consumer information. Last and also the final point is that, as Jerome have introduced, there are always forerunners in the business and in the government, so that we can take the learning from them, learn from the leadership and different countries already implementing measures, while encourage the sharing of knowledge among different countries, so that we can improve peer-to-peer learning. So this is in general our approach, how we deal with the pollution issues, not only for plastic, but also many other sectors. This graph shows how we usually understand the issue of a value chain, and also how do we design our intervention. The first thing we usually do is that we want to understand within the country or for a specific value chain, what are the key polymers and products or life cycle stages, pathways, fates, and also different categories and also geographic locations are causing the whole pollution issue, so that we understand better the key hotspots as we just covered many different dimensions of the pollution. At the same time, we design holistic solutions, including both upstream solution, dealing with design, production, consumption, reuse, and then also engaging downstream solutions, including collection, disposal, recycling, and final treatment. So that when we develop a series of intervention options, we engage with different stakeholders to see that which are the key actions can be prioritized based on the national or stakeholder priorities. And then we, let's say, team up with different stakeholders and also have a discussion to reach a common goals and to design a orchestrated solution. So this is our mentality of provide technical support to the business and government. How do we design our intervention? A lot of our work on circular economy in UNEP is organized under the UNEP Circularity platform. We are working on issues related to plastic pollution, textile, electronics, and extractives and chemicals, and many different sectors. So we are using the similar mentality and approach to tackle different problems, hopefully with harmonized thinking and also differentiated or adapted approach. So this is in general how we look into the circularity and circular economy of different sectors and different problems. I'm now going to a little bit depth into the plastic work we are doing. First of all, I would like to introduce a global project we just finished last year that we took stock of the global plastic value chain, looking to different initiatives and action being taken already. And then we conclude with the key gaps for action and also a set of recommendations for future activities. So all our work has been well represented in this 5 publication, so that there are links on this 5 publication that you can access in the end. Here I will provide a key summary of the main learnings. So this slide shows the key, let's say, result from our analysis. It's quite similar to the reference Jerome have mentioned already, so I will not repeat here. Essentially, what you can see from the top graph is that plastic waste coming from the production and consumption of different plastic products in different sectors, and the leakage of plastic into the environment happen actually at all stages of the life cycle of different product. This means that, as you can see from the first graph, leakage of plastic into environments happens a lot at the use phase, mainly from microplastic, and also a lot from end of life, that's for macroplastic. So this means that we need to look into what are the key leakage points and also process that causing the leakage. At the same time, plastic is not only a group of certain consumer products, they also include primarily emission of microplastic and macroplastic. So we were able to break down all the leakage in terms of different polymers, in terms of micro and macro plastic, in terms of life cycle stages, and also different product categories. So within this couple of reports, we were able to present a whole overview of plastic leakage from different parts of the value chain. And you can see more details from the publication I will be sharing in the end. Well, going from analysis to solution, what we have summarized by analyzing the literature, but also engaging with the stakeholders, is that there are many different interventions along the life cycle products that can covering the very upstream, that dealing with material engineering in design of materials and products, and then also as well as business model. At the same time, engaging with consumers during the use and consumption phase, and also most importantly as well, that's to work much better in the end of life recycling scenario. So as you can see that individual activities can be taken during different phases of life cycle. They're all, let's say, very, very important. And I'm not going to go into the detail, but you can take a read of the detailed action points in the slide and also the publication. At the same time, as you can see that if we divide the actions in silos, probably it will not work together very well, because in the end, we are targeting the pollution for the entire value chain. This means that there are much more important work, not only at individual stage or stakeholder level, but also more cross-cutting. This means that we have to develop actions on knowledge, which means that we establish a more harmonized nomenclature measuring system and understand the current situation of the pollution. At the same time, we need a set of policy and financial instruments, like Jerome has introduced, mandatory pollution control legislation, EPR, economic incentives and procurement, and also consumer information program, etc. So this is where UNEP have been designed different support to countries and also consumers on different policy instruments. And then on technology, we still need new technology for both material, product design, as well as recycling and collection methods. So this is where we have to work very closely with the private sector. In the end, we also need to work at a global level. This means that there is always the issue of transboundary movements of products and waste that need coordination among countries and stakeholders. So this is the key area we do believe that future circular economy program at the regional, national, and global level should focus on. Apart from the general recommendation, we also conclude there are a couple of key sectors that are essential for tackling the plastic pollution. Essentially, we have packaging, PET bottles, single-use plastic, textile, cosmetics, tourism, fishing, agriculture, and shipping. So this is the key sector causing most, let's say, leakage as well as impact to both land and marine pollution of plastics, and we have recommend specific action and also program to deal with them. In the end, based on the learning of the project, we were able to conclude a global action or roadmap to achieve circular economy, which is available for you to check. We have designed specific indicators, actions, and also responsibility for different stakeholders and different time horizon in order to implement circular economy at global level. So all the materials and also the learnings and also conclusion I provide here are available through the slides and also the reports I will be sharing at the end of the presentation. Now I'm going to spend the last few minutes on the other project we are doing and also hopefully to provide some inspiration. How are we tackling the plastic issues through circular economy? As a continuation from the last project I mentioned, we are now implementing a new project with $7 million in the Latin American cities. Actually, we'll be pilot testing circular economy in 6 Latin America cities to see how we can actually implement circular economy at the city level, because city is a different scale compared to a country, which perhaps sometimes actions are more easier to implement and design, while stakeholders and action needed are more specific. So in this project, currently, we are aiming for a circular economy vision in those cities that with less plastic leakage and pollution, with more circularity and better collaboration with all stakeholders. So we are now designing interventions at municipality level to work on policies, financial instruments, and also pilot project to support the local government at city level to implement activities there. At the same time, we want to work closely with the private sector. How do we better test new designs, reuse models, business model, as well as smart collection and recycling system, while organizing through industrial roundtable and collaboration to glue the private sector together and working with the public sector. And at the same time, I think the pilot work we are doing will always have very limited scale. So we want to set up intercity networks for cities to learn from each other and share experience. And then the last thing is to also build capacity to increase the learning and also the, let's say, the uptake of the circular economy solutions in the city. So hopefully within a couple of years' time, we can share more progress from the city level work from Latin America with more stakeholders from Asian region and also other region, so that we can differentiate our intervention at different scale, geographic scale. There are a couple of other projects I want to also highlight here that's ongoing, and we see a very good level of uptake and implementation. Earlier this month, we organized already a webinar towards the Asian region on a new guidance that we have developed for to support countries to understand their plastic value chain and also shaping action. Essentially, this kind of practical guidance with Excel sheet and also practical tool serve as a purpose to help a country to make assessments of the key plastic hotspot from import, production, consumption to end-of-life recycling, so that to have a full picture of the key areas of intervention and develop solution. So the guidance is a set of different modules and tangible practical tools that people can use easily. I will not go into detail. You can see all the modules and the Excel sheet and the methodology in our website being showed here. And actually, this is the result from a pilot testing we have been doing and also finishing in Thailand. This is a key output of our tool. You can see that we're able to map what are the key inputs of plastic in terms of consumption and production, what are the key hotspots in terms of mismanagement waste and collection rates, what are the quantities being collected and not collected. At the same time, in the middle, the hotspot related to plastic product, polymers, and also different leakage point in end of life stream. And then we are able to provide a concrete action point for interventions. So this is a tool we just released together with IUCN, and we believe it can be applied in many, many other countries. And actually, we are in the process of developing capacity to use it for support country to define the actions on plastic pollution. So this is almost the end of my slide. At the same time, as a team, we also published already in this process of 7 to 8 reports to use LCA to compare different single-use plastic products with the alternative. We already finished a study on plastic bags, bottles, cutleries, and we are working on masks, beverage cups, and nappies and sanitary products. All these reports are available in our website. In the end, we also work with different countries to encourage them to sign up to a common commitment. And also we have working specifically the tourism sector. So I think my presentation is quite comprehensive. All the work we have been doing are provided in the link here, and we'll be able to also share our slide with you. Essentially, this is how we approach the circular economy issue, mainly from both upstream and downstream, working for policy, business, and also knowledge and innovation. So thank you very much. And it's a pleasure to share our learning with you today. Thank you.